Hey everyone, welcome to the fourth episode of Classback. Our guest today is an alumnus from the batch of 2015 with a degree in IT engineering. He was the cultural secretary during his time at DBIT, and he has also worked with NGO CSRs and studied at UBC and Yale School of Management. And that's not all. He has also worked as a community designer at IDEO and is a product owner at DealerTrack.
Welcoming Mr. Ryan Dsouza.
Hey guys, thank you
Hi
for having
Ryan.
me.
Hi Ryan.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello. Thanks for having
Yes.
me, you guys.
So how does it feel, talking to students from DBIT?
Oh, I was super excited. I heard about you guys. I saw some of the stuff you guys were doing, and it was super exciting. I was very happy to come back. It's been every time I come back home, I try to visit DBIT, visit a few professors and whoever I can, and I still have very, very close friends there. So this is always great to come back and have a chat. Yeah, again, I'm very, very happy to be here.
So how was your experience like at DBIT?
Well, DBIT was a mixed bag, to be completely honest. When I started off, it was really rough. It was something I really struggled with. I made the switch from, I was still considering where to go and what kind of studies I wanted to do. And I'd gotten to St. Xavier's and I was doing a bit of studying there, but I knew I wanted to do engineering. I wanted to push myself. I didn't realize how much that pushing myself would, come down to. And the first couple of years was super tumultuous. There was a lot of gateys and backdrops, and I dropped out for a little while just to figure stuff out. But the other side of so it was a very stressful thing in the beginning, and a part of it goes with the whole engineering studies. But the second half of it, once I came back and decided to do just this and focus on school, I had a really, really great time, and I really miss DBIT for whatever it's worth. I like I said, I got into student council. We did so much of fun stuff, put on so many things with great people. Had professors look out for me and help me out, and yeah, it was a great experience. And I look back to that time very, very fondly now. So yeah, definitely pros and cons. You want to keep going? Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so what would you say were some of your best memories at DBIT?
So I know you guys don't have this now. We were just talking about this a little while ago. I know you don't have Crexel.
Yeah.
Crexel is probably one of my favorite memories, mostly because it was really, really amazing to see how much the students cared and how talented people were. They would come out and, just at the thought of a cultural festival, there were people who would be practicing dance in different parts of the mechanical building. There would be people singing in classrooms, and it was so much fun. I worked with some great professors who would come out and help us out, and it was really, really fun. I remember getting people from the hotel management would make these donuts that I still think are the best donuts ever.
Yeah.
And they would sell them down during the festival. And yeah, that's one of my favorite memories, is just thinking about how much effort everybody put in, how much everyone cared about the festival. And, we would be there till like 8, 9 in the night, putting up stuff. We'd be there bright and early in the morning, people making paper mache entrances for the door and everything. Oh, it's one of my favorite memories. Yeah, that, and there used to be a canteen when I first joined. There was Anna who used to make the best fried chicken and parotas. That's another one of my favorite memories from DBIT. I don't think anybody does it like Anna.
So Ryan, why did you consider doing a post-graduation? And that in the University of British Columbia?
So I knew from a very early time, even right from when I was coming back to my third and fourth year, I knew I wanted to go and study abroad, just because I wanted to grow a little bit. I had a chance to travel a little bit before that, and I knew I wanted to live abroad and see what that was like, and also to try and get into a good university. So I started working in Mumbai just after school. I didn't go down the conventional route. I started working in nonprofit, and even there, I started realizing there were lots of ways that things needed to be improved. There was a lot of inefficiencies, and I thought business school would be the perfect place for me to both learn about this and get a chance to study and meet people from around the world. And that was the drawing force towards deciding to go do my master's. And I knew I wanted to study and go back into the social sector. So that's how I decided to go. Yeah.
And what was your experience like, whilst you were there, like both academically and co-curricularly?
So UBC was phenomenal. I think it's a great program. The people there really push you. It's intense. The program I did is called a Master of Management program, and I got a small scholarship to attend, which was really helpful. It pushed me one way. I went there. So like I said, the course was super intense. There was a lot to cover. It was basically a quick deep end dive into the world of business. And for us coming from an engineering background, we didn't know anything about finance or accounting or any of those type of fields. And so it was eye-opening to start learning about that. It's also where I started learning about design thinking and that whole process, which I fell in love with. So that was the academic side of things, super intense. Outside of that, one of the other reasons I picked UBC is because UBC had a very strong component of it that focused on community building, on giving back to communities, on doing work that mattered, on thinking ethically about different issues. Even one of our final projects was called a community capstone, where you work with a nonprofit in Vancouver and you help build out their business for them. You do different things. I had a chance to work with the School of Population and Health, and we did a program for maternal health in some of the more rural areas up in the north of Canada, which are quite isolated communities, and we had a chance to build out some tech for them, and so it was very, very satisfying. I also had a chance to be in student council there, which was a great opportunity. We had a chance to meet people constantly from other schools. Like my classmates were just from all over the world. We learned and did so much of fun stuff. And it's so great to get different cultural perspectives on how people do that, and not just see the differences, but also you make a joke like, oh, you do that, oh, I do that, we do that at home, and it's that kind of conversation that becomes really, really great. But that's a bit of a mix in it. So and also Vancouver is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's probably one of the prettiest cities anyway. So that definitely helped.
So you even went to Yale University.
Mm-hmm.
So could you throw some light on, why did you jump from the University of British Columbia to Yale, and what was your experience like there?
Sure. So while I was at UBC, there was this thing happening where there's a network of management schools called the GNAM network, and one of the universities in it is Yale. And Yale came to UBC and was opening up a new program where people who had an existing master's degree could choose to do an extension program, do a second year at Yale and do a second master's degree there. This is the first time they were doing the program, so it was part of the charter class. And in all honesty, I fell in love with it. I was sitting in a classroom where they were doing this presentation, and they showed not just what the school would be, it wouldn't just be business school. They showed this slide that said you would have access to the School of Engineering and the School of Arts and the School of whatever you wanted to study. You could pick and choose and create your own curriculum. And Yale also has a standing for being one of the best schools in the nonprofit space. So as somebody who cares deeply about the meaning of my work, and I've been in the social sector for a while and wanted to keep building those relationships, Yale became very, very enticing as an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. So I just knew at that time I had to apply. I didn't think about much else. I was like, I just need to apply for this program. It seems perfect. It was called a Global Masters in Business and Societies. And it was exactly what I anticipated, and I had a chance to go. I applied again, got a small scholarship that helped me out, had a chance to go down to New Haven and pick and chose my program so that it could be unique and build on the foundation that I had from UBC. UBC introduced me to this business acumen that was now mainstay for everybody in my classroom. But then this was a chance to elevate and pick and choose things that were very, very defined to me. So I did everything from sustainability finance to design to big data analysis, like everything on the spectrum that I could get my hands on, because I'm very greedy and it was like, ooh, all of it, And so that's all.
A pretty cool experience.
Yeah, it really was.
So you said like after you finished your engineering, you worked for NGOs. So what made you take that decision? Like most people, when they graduate from engineering, they want to take up like a corporate job. So you took a very different path. So what do you feel like was the difference in taking that path? And there are probably a lot of students out there who want to do the same thing, but they don't know whether there's stability in that path. So yeah.
But I can't speak to stability. I don't think, well, rationally, it's probably not the best decision to make, right? Like, you're an engineering student, you're probably going to be a high earner, you're probably going to work in computer science. I got a lot of pushback from extended family who are like, are you sure? But you did IT engineering, you could go make money and you could do whatever. But I knew for a long time that I wanted to do work that I felt strongly about. And I knew I wanted to connect with work outside. So I knew I wanted to work in nonprofit. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that looked like at all. And I went in very, very naive, thinking everybody who's there is out to do the right thing and, is just there to make the world a better place. But it's not entirely true. And so with a lot of naivety and lack of planning and a lot of incredible support from my family. My mom, dad, and my sister are incredible. They, always encourage me to do the most ridiculous things like give up an engineering career and go work for nonprofit. And they saw me through it. And I picked the work genuinely, mostly because of that, to find some meaning in what I was doing. And that's how I found myself at Oxfam. Yeah.
Right. So I was going through your portfolio and I noticed this project called Floka. So we'd like to just play a small clip of the video.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So we just play a clip.
It's the little things you do that add up over time and help shape you. Your body is incredible. It's always speaking to you. What if you could listen? Floka was built to help you unlock its intelligence. It is the power of data science in your pocket. It's support built around you. Listening to all of the little things that make you unique. By connecting the dots, everything makes sense. You are not just your period, your fitness, your mental health, performance, what you eat, how you look, your sleep, or your outlook. You are everything, and the relationships that connect them all. It takes the whole you to reach your optimal state, your flow state. Floka.
Okay, so, well, Floka was one project in a series of projects that I got to do in between the two master's programs that I did. So when I finished up at UBC, I spent the summer working at E at UBC, which is entrepreneurship at UBC. It's their innovation hub. And what we were doing is we were a bunch of student consultants that worked in a group to help advise different startups in the impact space. Helping them grow their businesses. So these are super early stage startups, okay, guys who just have ideas and have very basic stuff set up. Floka was a little bit more advanced at the time. They were one of the projects that came to us, and this has been something that I've always tried to do with work. Is I've tried to find projects and things inside of work that I'm really attracted to. So I love anything to do with photography and film and music and anything like that I can get my hands on. And design, Ruben, we were talking about design, and I know this is something you care about also. And so I was super keen on trying to get into this. And the product that Floka was building was a femtech product, and it was set in Vancouver. And so we were trying to think about what this very stylized video would be aimed at, health tracking for these very Vancouver-esque people. It's set in this very glamorized world. And so there was a chance for me to do a video very different from the ones I've done before, because the other videos I did before this were either in like rural Maharashtra. We did programs for early childhood education. We did programs for skill development programs, and a whole bunch of very, very, very different film and photography before. And this was a chance to do something I just thought was cool. And so we found some music. I got to play with some drones and do a whole bunch of shooting, as you may have seen. And so, yeah, that's what Floka was about. And I think it turned out really well. I think Floka's evolved quite a bit now, but yeah, that's what the Floka project was about.
So you're currently living in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So how is the situation there right now?
Canada's in a pretty tough. Yeah, it's in a pretty tough spot. Also, with COVID still cases still jumping up here, which means the market is still not back entirely. But the whole thing about that Canada has to offer is some form of security. I think opportunity-wise, I still think there are cooler and more different opportunities in the US. And having worked there, I think there's a different view, and it's something that a view that I have personally. This is just an opinion of mine alone. And so, as somebody in the social sector, I find there are less opportunities in CSR and the social sector here as much as maybe the US would have. But what Canada lacks in that area, it makes up for in terms of stability and an ability to gain some footing while trying to build a career and trying to, find a place to stay. So I had Canada as like the ace in my pocket, kind of. Even when I was in the States, I knew I was going to come here eventually. So I think Canada has been great like that. I love the people I work with. I like the kind of work I do now. It's very different to the work I did before, but I think Canada's worth considering. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, and it's only going up. Right? It's still fairly new in comparison to a more mature market like the US. So lots to be done here.
Yeah, so many of our students, are considering probably going for masters in the fall 21 or 22. Mm-hmm. So is it a good option for them to consider Canada?
I think so.
They should wait, probably because of the current scenario.
If you're aiming 22, I'm really hoping things get better. Fingers crossed that we all get a whole bunch of vaccines and things start turning for the better. I still think 22 might make sense. Maybe later this year, but I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have an answer to whether I'm going to be okay. But if you are concerned about the risks that moving abroad holds for you in terms of your ability to stay, I think Canada is a bit more secure for sure. But I would say go to schools and apply to schools, and just make sure you apply to places you connect with and find that the curriculum works for you. Because I think there's ways to come back to a particular place like Canada. Don't come to Canada just because of the safety or whatever, whatever reason, just to immigrate. Find stuff that you care about, find work that you care about, and if that leads you elsewhere, then that's how I think about it.
So that ends our question and answer, like the interview session.
Sure.
Thank you, Ryan, for this. And I would rather say it was a very stimulating conversation, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not the end. We have a small game.
Okay.
Yeah. So this game is similar to Never Have I Ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like, I would ask you, but it would be like a DBIT twist. So, yeah. So I would ask you all questions related to DBIT, and if you all have done that particular thing, then you all can either raise your hand or have a cup of tea, coffee, whatever.
I'm going to have my tea. It's early in the morning. So.
Yeah. Yeah, good. So it would be like, I would just give you an example.
Sure.
Never have I ever eaten mushroom. So if you have, then you sip your tea, and when you raise your hand. And if you haven't, then you don't do anything. You stay at the seat. Right?
Okay.
So we
So
start
wait.
our game.
So
Yeah.
wait, hold on. So wait, if I have, then I
And you
put my
sip.
hand up? Oh, I
Can
just
you
sip.
sip your, yeah.
Okay.
If you haven't, then you just stay as it is.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll start with it. Never have I ever slept during a lecture. Okay. Never have I ever been thrown out of a lecture.
Oh, I've definitely been thrown out.
Never have I ever used Colosseum or Department Day as an excuse to bunk lecture.
Oh, come on. This is stacked odds, you guys. Of course I have. No, CS, I used to help other people bunk lecture.
Never have I ever sneaked any snacks during a class.
Did you have to sneak? I thought we could just eat in class, no? I think... Much I will get over this, right?
Okay, the last one.
Okay.
Never have I ever studied for the wrong paper.
That I haven't done. I studied and then done terribly, but yeah.
At least one. Yeah. Thank you for playing this
That's
small
awesome.
game.
Yeah, that's fun.
So we have a small announcement to make.
Sure.
For all of you guys who have missed any of our episodes, you can check it out on our YouTube channel, that is the Don Bosco Institute of Technology YouTube page. And also you can check it out on our Instagram page, DBIT Alumni. We also wanted to let you all know that we have an alumni portal wherein our alumni can connect with their seniors, their juniors, or their batchmates. And there are many more features that you can explore once you are registered in that portal. So please do check it out if you haven't already done it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ryan, for having this conversation with us and getting up so early.
No, thank you for having me, and thank you for working around my time. This is really fun. It's always nice to connect back to DBIT. Yeah, all the best to you guys. And this is great. It seems really fun. I'll be watching the series for sure.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Ryan.